Whenever you're ready, you can kick us off.
What, you think we're gonna be a little? Do you think we'll be a little more professional this time on the Open?
Who cares? It's all we do.
I'm not betting on it.
We do what we do, and that's all we do.
All right, this is Welcome to the Pondcast. I'm Chuck.
And I'm Sean.
So it's been a couple weeks since the last time we did one of these. You got caught in snow and weather, and you were sick, and I've been having stuff going on, so we finally got back to it.
Yeah, I mean, for the first time out, I think the first one came out good, so took a little time coming back for the second, but, you know, we'll get there.
We're here, and we're back to annoy and harass.
Harass is definitely the right way to put that.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Harass the general public.
Sounds like a plan to me. My mother always told me to excel at what you're good at, so... So I guess we can jump right into movie talk. There's been a lot of new trailers coming out lately and movie news as of late. I think one of the first ones, one of the more interesting ones that has come out in the last couple of weeks is the news on the Ghostbusters reboot and the cast announcement that came out a couple of weeks ago that it's going to be an all-female lead cast for the new Ghostbusters movie.
The Lady Busters.
Yeah, I think I want to see more of, I don't know if they've actually released, who they're going to be, if it's going to be the same characters, but it's going to be interesting. But I know there was a lot of buzz over what actually is, how they're doing it, and that it's going to be an all-female cast.
Yeah, I forget if it's a sequel or if they're actually going for a full reboot.
See, I thought I remember it was supposed to be a reboot, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, but again, I mean, all they've done so far is just announce the cast, so it's kind of hard to tell at this point which direction they're going to take it.
Yeah, because it looks like even on IMDb that they have the cast listing, but they don't necessarily have, character names or anything, so, it could be a reboot. They could be doing it as, maybe the original cast's daughters, maybe something like that, because they do have... Leslie Jones, who could, realistically be, Winston's daughter or, something along those lines. And, they have the other three actresses who could be the other lead's daughters or something like that. So it'll be interesting to see what they come up with.
Yeah, very true.
They have Dan Aykroyd as an executive producer, so at least they have somebody, and Ivan Reitman, who I believe was involved with the original two. He's on board as well, it looks like, so... At least they have some attachment to the original to go by.
Yeah, but that's not always good. I mean, look at the prequels.
That is true. That is very true. I will give you that. But I guess we can just hope for the best and see what comes of it.
Yeah, exactly. Pray for the best, and that's all we can do.
Exactly. Be pleasantly surprised. I know another one you and I were talking about a while is the new Fantastic Four trailer.
Oh, yes. The dark Fantastic Four. The actual young Fantastic Four being played by actually young people. And not just, Tobey Maguire, who's 30 years old, playing a 15-year-old.
Right. Or even, trying to make it look like he's playing a 18 or 20-year-old.
Yeah. Going with the younger casts, rebooting it. Yeah, that is an actual reboot.
Yeah, it looked like from the trailers that they're definitely going through the origin story and how they're getting their powers and everything. So yeah, you're definitely right. It is definitely a full reboot. Again, it's an interesting casting of. It looks like Johnny Storm.
Human Torch.
The Human Torch is. Going to be played by a black actor. I believe they're putting in that he's going to be adopted, which is, an interesting take on it. I don't think it'll depend on the actor's talent, how it comes off. So I don't think other than that, I don't see an issue with it. I know some people were a little up in arms, since he traditionally hasn't been, but I think it'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm sure that's... I mean, they'll plan all that stuff out, and I mean... I really don't really care one way or the other. I didn't like the other Fantastic Four movies. I might see this one when it comes out on a Blu-ray, but I might actually just wait for Netflix.
Could be. Yeah, I was okay with the first one. The Silver Surfer one, I was a little. I think most people were more disappointed. If you were going to pick one to be less happy about, I think the Silver Surfer one was kind of the tougher one to find something to like about.
Yeah. I mean, they were both pretty just like even the first one, the campiness of the stupid, powers. And look, I stretch, and my arm goes all the way over there to get toilet paper from the next room. I mean, it's like, come on, really? We're doing poop jokes? Supposed to be Marvel.
I didn't say it was great. I didn't say it was great. I just said it was easier to find more that you liked about the first one rather than the second one. I didn't, and camp can be done well. It's just unfortunately camp was not done well in that one.
Yeah. Well, I think campiness can be good when it's done intentionally. When it's just, it's there and we're taking it seriously, but it's still kind of campy. It doesn't always come out right.
Oh, absolutely. I agree completely. The next trailer that I saw about a week or so ago that I'm actually very interested in seeing, and I think the trailer made it look better than the first one, is Ted 2 from Seth MacFarlane.
Yes. They're trying to have a baby now.
They're trying to have a baby, and apparently they're not going to let him because he's not a person.
Yes. Which trailer did you see? Did you see the one with Tom Brady?
I did not. I seen both of them then. I saw the teaser, and then I did see the Tom Brady one where they sneak into his room to try and make Tom Brady the father, as it were.
Indeed. And you get the whole the golden glow coming from it.
Yeah, that was a bit over the top. Again, camp being done well or not well. I'm not quite sure. I'm kind of hoping that's not necessarily in the movie. Maybe it was just a gag to kind of get some hype for the movie with Brady being in it.
Oh no, it'll be in the movie. And that will probably be the extent of the entire scene, is what they showed.
One can only hope. I mean, I love Brady and all, but
I saw the first one, and I honestly have no distinctive memory of it, which does not bode well.
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of cameos and tossback references. I mean, a big part of it was, and it looks like he's even popping up in the second one, is the guy who played Flash Gordon in the 70s series.
Flash
ends up
Sorry. Continue.
No, that's quite all right. No, that's totally fine. Yeah, so I know he's making he was a decent part of the second act of the first movie, and from what I've seen, he's the officiant when Ted gets married, so it'll be interesting.
Oh, Ted.
And then the next movie, I think you're going to have a lot more to say about than I will, because I know you're a lot more invested in the entire franchises.
Hitman?
They released a teaser trailer. Yeah, the new Hitman movie.
Yep. I don't know. I mean, the first movie they gave us was such garbage that I'm glad they're at least going back to the well and not like with like a sequel, but just redoing it. But the trailer, it seems, and I said this to you before, it just seems like over-the-top action-y. That's really not what my Agent 47 was. But hey, some people like playing him running guns, some were all stealth action, so it was the kind of game series that lets you do whatever you want. So hey, I'm okay with it, provided the movie's good.
Yeah, and the scenes that I saw were, he really couldn't be stealthy. When you're trapped in a room with somebody, and they're interrogating you, I guess, there's only so much stealth you can do with somebody staring at you.
Yes, but the real 47 would never get himself trapped in a room and interrogated.
That is very true. I will give you that one.
A real professional doesn't get caught.
So you weren't even a fan of Timothy Olyphant in the first one?
I did like him in it. I thought the movie was just all over the place. But him in the role, I liked him in that role.
So it was a good actor in a decent role, but just spoiled by crappy writing.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Definitely.
So, note to anybody listening, don't see the first Hitman if you haven't yet. Save the $1.50 at Redbox and the 2 hours of your life.
It wasn't that bad. There are definitely movies out there that I would say don't even waste your time on. If you get the urge, go watch it. It's okay. Not to say it's good, but it's okay to watch it. It's watchable.
There's the DVD box review there from Sean Beale.
Yeah, it's watchable.
It's watchable.
It gets the Prophet Beale sideways thumb. It's watchable.
Prophet Beale. It was okay. It did not make me dumber for watching it.
That would be an interesting one. It made me dumber. I felt dumber when it was done.
Speaking of dumber, the next one we can go into is I finally broke down and watched the new trailer for because I think it just hit on DVD, or maybe it's coming to I think it's coming to DVD. Is the Dumb and Dumber 2 the sequel?
Oh God!
And I'm pretty sure that I am a couple IQ points lower having watched it.
Having watched the trailer or the actual movie?
Just the trailer.
Oh,
honestly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, from what I understand, the movie is just atrocious. I haven't personally seen it, but yeah, I've heard nothing but bad things.
Yeah, I've seen a couple reviews, and there's at least 5 or 6, it seems, gags from the first movie that they reenact almost verbatim. And not only verbatim, but they're visually the same, scripting the same. I mean, basically, you're using the same gag in 2 movies.
Yeah,
12 to 15 years apart.
It's it's like, all right, we're gonna do a callback to an old joke, but we're not gonna reference the old joke. We're just gonna reenact the entire joke, which is
and that's the thing is I saw from the beginning of the trailer or one of the reviews. It was at the beginning when you're doing the opening credits. They're actually showing clips from as kind of like a flashback in the first movie. So I don't know if they're going to do the gags there, maybe to set up, doing them again so you remember, oh, yeah, they did do that in the first one, but I don't know. I just, no interest, and they must be saving this for, Jim Carrey's career hasn't been that great of late, so they must be hoping this will do something for him.
Yeah, something you should probably watch then. There's the Screen Junkies YouTube channel. They just did an honest trailer for Dumb and Dumber 2. And it hits on a lot of those notes.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm a big fan of that channel. They usually do pretty good stuff. I find that for the movies I've seen that they've reviewed, I tend to agree with them most of the time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I just dropped you a link to that honest trailer.
All right, that'll be make sure that I put that in the show notes for everyone. And then the last movie I have that I saw a trailer for, a couple trailers for recently, is the new Minions prequel, the prequels to the Despicable Me movies that look, I don't know, to me it looks interesting. It's, some new territory. It doesn't look like it's going to be anything to rehashed. From what I've seen so far, I don't even think it has anything to do with Gru necessarily. It's the Minion origin story, from my understanding.
Yeah, I think it's supposed to be what happened before Gru. Honestly, I haven't seen the trailers. I've seen some teasers of them, but I haven't actually seen any full trailer yet. My wife loves those Minion things, though, so I'm sure I'll get dragged to see it.
Well, I know I will definitely be there, probably opening weekend, and I very rarely do an opening weekend, but I'm pretty sure I'll be there. Yeah.
Why, of all things, would that be an opening weekend movie for you?
Well, you don't go on Facebook that often, but if you ever look at my Facebook wall, it's pretty clear why. or that I would be going.
Touché.
Usually my mom tags me in it, and then I share it, so I get 2 copies of it on my wall all the time. Don't judge me.
I'll judge you if I want.
Oh, okay. That's fair. As long as you tell me, I'm okay with that.
Yeah. I always tell you.
Well, sure. It's like I said to one of the girls at work. She said she was going to blame me for something. I said, that's fine. Just let me know. I don't care if you blame me. Just give me a heads up.
Yeah. As long as I know I'm being blamed, I'm okay with it.
Right. I just want to know that it's coming. And usually what I'm getting blamed for. That's kind of helpful too. Are there any other movies that you've seen trailers or have looked interesting to you that are coming out?
Yeah, I mean, well, there's the new Jurassic World. Have you seen that trailer?
I haven't seen. I think I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I haven't seen the whole thing. That's they're casting Chris Pratt in it, aren't they?
Yeah, Chris Pratt is taking the lead, which, he's everywhere now, and not that it's a bad thing, but I don't know if I trust him being everywhere. That's usually when they oversaturate an actors when they put him into everything.
Yeah, and the only things I know him from is I didn't even watch it, but he was in Parks and Rec, I think, and Guardians, and I don't know as I know I've seen him in anything else.
He was also, he was the voice in the Lego movie.
Which, unfortunately, I haven't seen yet.
That is definitely something to see. But he had that big year, and that's the other thing with something like Guardians. That was just a huge movie, and so he's already got the sequel for that lined up. They're going to be bringing him into... actually, I don't know if they're bringing him into the Avengers, but they can bring him into the whole Infinity Gauntlet storyline they're doing. Plus, that's right, he's also rumored for to be Indiana Jones. They're making Indiana Jones 5, and he's going to be Indy.
I think I could kind of see that. I think I'd be okay with that.
Well, but so that's part of my thing is he's just really getting every big role. It's you look at his list and it's a bunch of rumors of things he's in and stuff coming up because he's going to be everywhere over the next 2 years. Which, hey, if he can hack it, he can do it. And I'm fine with that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, if dude can support the roles and make some cash, hey, why not? I'm certainly not going to argue with anybody making money.
But yeah, so Jurassic World, it's actually, supposedly the park gets finished and opened and is in full swing. And then, of course, shit goes wrong and all sorts of hell breaks loose. But the trailer definitely makes it look good. So we'll see if they bomb on that one or not.
Now, in the original, the park hadn't opened yet, had it?
No. The original was just them. It was they had just finished setting up a lot of bits of park, and so they were still just kind of working things through. So there was only a handful of people on the island.
Okay, I'm going to have to rewatch it again, because honestly, I couldn't even tell you the last time I've actually seen Jurassic Park, so I think I'm going to have to watch it and maybe read the book. I think I have the books somewhere.
It doesn't... I mean, if you're really watching it, it doesn't fully stand up because there's a lot of gaping holes in it, and things that you're why didn't they catch this kind of stuff in post production? Just dumb little things, but it's still a great movie. Can't go wrong with Jurassic Park. The rest of them were all downhill, but the first one was definitely good.
Well, sure. Second movies always suck. Third ones,
Not always. Usually, not always.
Oh, yeah, usually. And yes, is a rating system that I have.
It's the rating system I live by.
Right? It was decent, didn't suck, and I only have 3 stars. I don't go to 5.
So, I want to talk about good movies I've seen recently. I just saw John Wick. That's the Keanu Reeves action movie that came out 6 months ago or something like that. It just came out on DVD this past week or two, and that was a badass movie. I will say, yeah. It reminds me on some levels of Leon, aka The Professional.
Mm-hmm.
He plays he actually does a decent job of acting in it, and the action of it is believable. There really is only maybe 1 or 2 yeah, okay, I don't believe that kind of moments. The rest of it is all, consistent. He consistently messes people up in the movie, and it's great. Double tapping everybody he comes across, doesn't give anyone a chance for anything.
And how is Keanu's range in the movie?
His acting range is actually good. Although he keeps it pretty subtle, which is, I think, perfect for him. He's not trying to overact anything. Everything is just very, all right, well, if we don't have to have Keanu talk, let's just keep him silent this scene. And he just plays the badass part of just being quiet.
That's not a bad idea, I don't think.
Yeah, it works. It really does. And I mean, you know me, I love picking apart movies, and I just had fun watching it.
Awesome. So it's definitely one I'll have to check out and one that everybody should go see or go rent. Definitely worth the red box price, you think?
Yeah, that was worth my $1.50 red box price on that one.
Awesome. So you don't even have to use the free coupon for that one.
You know, the free coupons don't always work on Blu-rays. Like it'll cut.
Oh, really?
It'll because it's a free DVD rental, not a Blu-ray rental. So like the Blu-ray price ends up being like cheaper. It'll give it to you for like 50 cents or whatever it is. But yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. So you can tell how technologically advanced I am. I know you and I have had this conversation before, but any other movies that you think are worth mentioning?
Nope. Not that I come to me at the moment. I actually haven't watched much lately, movie-wise. Although I did if I want to transition to other things I've seen, I did see a pretty interesting YouTube video from the guys over at the blog The Verge.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, I just sent it to you, but basically it's a demonstration on binaural audio, which is essentially audio that is recorded like on a left and right track, but it's the mics for it are actually in like fake ears, so it actually captures sound as if it was going through a normal ear. And what these guys did is they shot a lot of this because they're located in Manhattan, so they shot a lot of it in Manhattan. And I mean, honestly, it sounds like you're on the streets of New York. If you watch it with headphones on, you can hear, a car horn goes off, and it sounds like that car horn is right behind you.
That's pretty cool. I think they did an audio recording of of Stephen King's The Mist with the same. It was either that or there's another one. I have one. I know I have a CD set of it, and they did that with that, and I think it was the same type of technology. Maybe not the same one as this was, but
I'm sure it's very similar. That was one of the things that they talk about, was how this technology's been around since like the 1800s. It's not new technology. It's just becoming more and more popular, especially recently with the push for VR and stuff like the Oculus Rift. They're getting more in comfort. That VR is becoming more. I forget the term for it, but just more encompassing. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that's still lacking is the audio. So you're getting more people working on this binaural audio to help people really feel like they're in these virtual environments more so. I mean, I had fun with it. So the video itself is like an 8-minute video, and then and it's them explaining binaural audio and how it works and all that kind of stuff. And then they also have like an additional bonus feature video, which is like a half hour, which is literally just them not talking, just walking through Manhattan, just showing you and letting you listen to everything that was going on. And it was all like their B-roll that they shot that they ended up not using, but they put it up anyway because people were so interested in how it sounds.
And having you had worked in New York City and lived down there, it's pretty comparable to walking around.
Yes, definitely. It was one of the things that it struck me when I first heard it. I was like, that really does sound like you're there. Getting on and off the subways, just the kind of sights and sounds that you kind of, as me, I kind of took for granted for a long time.
Well, I'm sure it's like kind of, when you live in any area long enough, you kind of, grow ear numb to certain sounds. They just become background to you. I lived in front of a rod and gun club out in the country for quite a while, and I'd have friends come over who lived in other parts of town, and, people start shooting, they jump, and I have no idea what they're jumping for. It's just because you become numb to, you lose the nuance of it or the newness of it.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So, yeah, if anybody hasn't been to New York City or has been and, wants to check out what, a good portrayal of the sounds of New York would be, I'll put that link in the show notes and you can check that out. And talking about YouTube, have you launched any new game series lately or since we talked last?
Well, I don't know. Let's go look at my channel.
I'm pretty sure you just started a new one this morning, I thought, or that I saw posted for,
Yes.
I believe, Call of Duty.
Yes, I did. I just launched it. See, you know this stuff better than I do.
It's only because I make notes, because I'm neurotic.
You could, yeah. Well, I would say you could share the notes, but you have shared the notes. I just haven't bothered to read them. But yeah, I started playing the original classic Call of Duty, and I love that. I love that game. It is so much fun. The old classic World War II shooter, back before they were like that market had gotten saturated.
Yeah, those are the type of games that I play for about 5 minutes, get pissed off, and then stop playing, because I'm just terrible at them.
Well, that's the thing. Well, I mean, this is also not multiplayer. This is just single player. One of the great things about this is you could lower the difficulty down as easy as you like it and just blast AI opponents till the cows come home. I happen to be a little better.
I was still terrible. I think one of the first ones I had was, I don't know, I don't think it was Call of Duty, but it was set in the Pacific in World War II. And it was just, I was terrible. I think you start off on a sub or a boat I think it was a sub you start off on, and I'm pretty sure I was dead before I got off the sub. So yeah, I generally pass on those, but I'm sure I'll find it entertaining to watch it and go, yep, that would have killed me. Yep, that'd have killed me.
Yeah, there's some of these games that I love playing that are, yeah, I'll die and die again. I've been playing this game, The Marvelous Mistake, where it's essentially like a game about stealing stuff. It's like a stealth game. And the problem is every time you get spotted, there is no plan B. You get spotted, mission over, start again. And you know what? That gets annoying when you keep dying or keep getting spotted over and over and over again. It gets frustrating after a while.
Well, is it as soon as you get spotted, or do they actually have to like chase you?
There's a little chase mechanic to it, but the people chasing you, the guards, are faster than your character, so it's very rare you can actually get away.
Unless you happen to be next to the door, you're kind of effed in the A.
Yeah, pretty much. So I've had runs where I would fail and fail and fail and just rage quit the game, even though I'm actually recording this for posterity's sake. I'd rage quit and have to come back to it later to beat it for my channel.
I get that completely. That's how, like I said, that's how I feel about most shooter games. I get about 5-10 minutes in, and it's like, nope, we're done.
Now, that's one of the things I love about having this channel is it keeps me honest. Like, you know what? I'll play a game, and if I suck at it, I suck at it, but I'm going to keep pushing through.
Yeah, it's good to have some sort of accountability with yourself, regardless of how it comes about.
I am accountable to the interwebs.
And they will keep you accountable. Especially if they're on anonymous, they will keep you accountable.
Well, aren't we all just anonymous on the interwebs?
Well, no. I suppose it's by choice. You know, you can be more anonymous than, you know, it's your level of anonymous, I suppose. You know, I'm a little more close to, you know, not full disclosure of who I am on the internet, but, you know, more so than you are. So I suppose there's varying levels. And then, you know, it's one of the things that cracks me up about Tumblr, which I'm pretty sure you're not on, because I know you're, you know, social network phobic. But I've seen some of the most horrific things being said by people because they're allowed to be completely anonymous. And I suppose this goes for, you know, I've seen this on you know, YouTube comments too, but, you know, I've seen some of the most horrible people saying the most, and, you know, and they may not be horrible people, but they say, you know, just because you're allowed that bit of anonymity, you know, people think they can say anything and, you know, and get away with it because they can. And it's just, you know, stuff that, you know, if your mother heard you say that, you know, she'd more than likely knock your lights out. At least my mother would have.
Yep.
Just, I don't know, especially in, you know, and I guess you know, we see this a lot lately with the whole Gamergate thing of just, you know, especially women on the internet being just either bullied out of their professions, bullied off the web, you know, and it doesn't seem to matter what level they are. You know, it could be, you know, some random, you know, person, you know, working for a software design up to, you know, Felicia Day, who's very prominent on the internet, and it just doesn't seem to matter. These people, you know, have nothing better to do with their time than rage against, you know, women or whoever.
Yeah, I never really understood that. I mean, it's this whole other level of bullying that goes on amongst people, and I don't understand why. It's like, why do people feel the need to rage against women or men or anyone that's just doesn't seem to fall into what narrow category they have for themselves?
Well, because they think they're the only ones to matter. Unfortunately, we can at times be a very selfish species. But yeah, I agree. I mean, if you love something, why not enjoy it with other people who love the same thing as much as you do? Yes, they may be more knowledgeable on it, or they may not have the same views as you, but, have a, civil discourse, not, I'm going to publicly expose you and make your life miserable. I think they just had it's a newer phenomenon, I guess, called swatting, where people are now, reporting, murders, I guess, at people's houses, at, either game designers or whoever. And, SWAT teams are being sent into these people's houses. So, I mean, it's really gone kind of off the deep end. I mean, not kind of, it's way off the deep end.
Well, that's, honestly, that happened years and years ago. That happened, not that it hasn't happened recently, but, I remember that happening, what was that, it was one of those live streaming sites. It was like what was before Twitch? There was another one of those things where people used to follow around with cameras and live stream their entire lives. I don't remember what site that was. But basically, one of the live streamers had the police storm in his house one day because someone had called up and said that he was... I forget what the charges were, but they literally kicked in the door of this live streamer's house because someone on the internet was watching his live stream and thought it'd be funny to do it to him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get that. That makes zero sense to me of why you would do that to anybody.
But, again, it's the idea of people think they're anonymous and they can just do whatever they like because, well, no one knows it's me. And you know what? Being a dick is being a dick. It doesn't matter if no one knows it's you. You're still just being a dick.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I don't think I can even put it any more succinctly than that. You're absolutely right. It's the Will Wheaton thing. Calm down and don't be a dick.
Honestly, if you have a problem with, some game that somebody made or whatever, don't buy it. You don't like a video? Why are you here watching the video? Why are you subscribed to these people's videos if you don't like them? Just so you can complain about it? Come on.
Yeah, some people live to complain. Or if you don't like a website's reviewer or you think they're doing something shady, sure, write about it, but you don't have to, expose somebody and, make death threats. That's the other part I don't get. We're playing video games and people are getting death threats over it. I don't understand that concept.
Yeah, it's out there, man. I don't know. Yeah. Some crazy people in the world.
Yeah, no argument. So on to something that, probably caused a little less fighting and aggravation is the we've had the Super Bowl since we talked last. Do we even want to get into this?
Whatever makes you happy. I've got no real opinion on it. We already know my... Well, okay, let's be honest. We know my opinion of it. Your team won because my team wasn't there. So...
Fair enough. So, all right. So I think we'll skip that one.
Yeah, it was actually a really good game. It was. I enjoyed it down to the last seconds of it. It's a great way to end. Can't go wrong with that.
Sure.
It's one of those instances where, all the hype was lived up to. So,
yeah.
What else has your magic list got?
That's all my magic list has, actually. Unless you want to go through commercials that were on the Super Bowl and what ones you liked, but that seems a little, I don't know, overdone.
Yeah, honestly, I can't even remember any commercials that were on during the Super Bowl. The only thing I did note was the fact that there were, I believe, 3 ads for mobile games, like Android, iOS games, but not a single ad for any of, big developer games, like what's considered AAA games, which I found very odd. I guess it goes to show you where the money is.
Yeah, at least at this point, like you're saying with, Chris Pratt being the hot thing and being rumored to be in everything, it seems like, mobile games are definitely the the way to go. Yeah, I remember seeing at least two, possibly. I don't remember if I saw the third one, but I know I saw at least two of them. For different mobile games. Clash of Clans had one, and didn't Liam Neeson was in one of the big ones for? I thought it was Clash of Clans or one of the other ones.
Yeah, it was for Clash.
So yeah, I think that's definitely. It seems like that's a. I don't know if it's because it's easier maybe for people to get into on that kind of level, rather than getting to full development, but.
Well, that's kind
of
definitely
an interesting place.
The funny thing, like, I understand that there are a lot of people playing these games, but there's a lot of people spending money on these games. Because all these, at least the ones that had Super Bowl ads, were all free-to-play games. So they don't require you to pay to download it. It's all money that you pay after you're already playing. And that's where they rake in so much money.
Yeah, it's all the in-game purchases where you've run out of a bonus and you want another bonus bomb or something, yeah.
And that's the like, I play Clash of Clans. I play with a bunch of guys that I work with. And I have not spent a dime on this game. I play for free. I have fun. The guys I work with, one of them has dumped at least $100 into this game. And I'm like, seriously? You could buy... Well, like, if you have a console, you could buy 2 real games with that money. If you're on a PC, you could have bought, like, 100 other games, but that's,
Well, even I was just looking at because my 360 is starting to have issues. You can get a refurbed 360 at GameStop for I think $150. So I mean, he's only $50 short of a 360 at the very least, and that was bundled with like 5 games.
Yeah, that's insane to me that you're spending that kind of money on a mobile game.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been one to do the in-app purchase either. So I'm still very paranoid. Like, it's weird what I'll do and what I won't do. I'll check my bank account on my phone because it's supposedly secure, but I won't pay for stuff with my phone. Like, at least not through, like, I won't put my credit card number in the phone or, things like that. I guess if I'm secured through a site, I'm less paranoid about it. If I go through, like, PayPal or something, I'm okay, but, some of these in-app purchases where you'd have to put in your credit card into the phone to make purchases, I'm not there yet.
Well, I think a lot of them are actually going through the Google Market. So, like, if you set up stuff on your market, then you can buy in-app goes through that. But me, I take it even further. I mean, I buy stuff. Anything I buy online, I usually try to use prepaid credit cards. And then the same thing, like, I buy games through Steam. I'll go to GameStop and buy a Steam card for $20, bring it home, activate it on Steam, and then I'll use that rather than giving my credit card to the site or to whatever, or using PayPal or something. But I am paranoid. That I know.
Yeah, you and I have had that discussion before. I'm well aware of.
Although, speaking of paranoid things, I don't remember if I've told you this or not. I actually had my Origin account hacked.
And you did. I believe you told me. Yeah, you did tell me about that. But you can inform everybody else so maybe they can be aware of.
So basically,
things to watch out for.
Yeah, Origin is it's a Steam competitor, so it's for buying PC games. Except it's EA specific games are usually on sale through Origin, and you usually can't get them anywhere else. And so, I mean, it's kind of dumb, but I never go on there. And so I've had games on there that I've just never played because I forget they're on there, so I don't go on there. And so I went on there, I signed on to it last week to realize that someone had tried to buy like some $70 exclusive, FIFA 15 copy through my Origin account. I've never bought that. Thankfully, once again, I'm paranoid and don't leave valid credit cards on these services, so it got declined. But yeah, my account got hacked. So I changed my password. I enabled, secure password checking. So basically, if you try and connect to their service from from an unknown IP address, they will send you an email with some sort of code in it that you have to then use that code in order to activate your account again.
Yeah, it sounds like Blizzard, I know with World of Warcraft started going more towards those kind of lines of, additional security where you could, there was another app that would, act as kind of an intermediary. I think basically to kind of handle that sort of thing to, make it a little harder for accounts to get hacked. Especially since they started even doing for their stuff, kind of their own version of Origin or Steam, where everything goes through, I think what was called or may still be called their Battle.net.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Battle.net. I have a Battle.net account.
Yeah, I do too, actually. I'll probably download it to this new machine at some point because, I don't know. Well, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah. Reasons.
But speaking of... Yeah, reasons. Like, I don't feel like paying, $16 a month for a game that I'm going to play, once a month. And I don't feel like buying expansions. I think the last time I played Warcraft was a year and a half ago, and it was because they did like $5 expansions to get you up to current. So I own them. I just don't play them. But I did finally become part of the PC revolution. I did install Steam and went to Humble Bundle, which if you haven't seen that, I'll put a link in the show notes. But It's a nice way to get some PC games for less expensive prices, and you can also donate to charity as part of it. They do a lot of different charities, it looks like. I know the Star Wars one that you and I got, I think was benefiting UNICEF.
Yes.
But I know I've seen some others too.
And not to interrupt you, but they just posted a new bundle today, which is Square Enix. So basically they have the latest Hitman game, the latest Tomb Raider, and the Thief game all out there. So for, I think it's like $6, you can get the Thief, Deus Hitman, and Supreme Commander. And if you go up to $15, you could also get Tomb Raider and Sleeping Dogs. Not that anyone really cares, but...
And I don't think I've played any of those games. No, that's not true.
It's a great bundle, and I actually already own all of those games. So I was looking at it today, I'm like, I think I own all of these, and I went to my Steam account. Yep, I own them already. Oh well.
Yeah, it's definitely a nice find. It looks like they I know they have book bundles too with different things. I think right now they had, or at least the last time I saw, they had some programming for kids books, and I know I've seen some Lego books and different things like that. So, and usually you can get a couple games for a certain amount, and then if you pay above the average, you can get more. And sometimes they'll release, like the Star Wars one, I know they released some games later on, so you can get some extra stuff that you're not planning on and just kind of get it as a bonus.
Yeah, usually there's 3 tiers. There is the pay whatever you want and you get these set of games or books or whatever the items are. And then there's the pay more than the average and you can get the next tier of games as well as the first tier. And then the third tier is usually just a set amount. So like right now the average for the Square Enix bundle is at $6.50. So if you pay more than that, you can get 5 games. $6.50 for 5 games. It's not really bad. It's pretty good.
No, not at all. And it looks like the Hitman one is an Android game, so...
Yeah, that last one. Well, that's actually a really interesting game. I did buy that. It's one of the few mobile games I've bought recently. And it's like it's set up more like a board game. So, like, you're looking at it and, like, you're moving chess pieces around. Not chess pieces, but, like, the Hitman character as, like, a chess piece. So you can move him one space at a time. It's really an interesting game. It's not like the rest of the series, but it's definitely a fun game to play. It's definitely in the family. Like, it feels like a Hitman game, but it looks like a board game.
Awesome. I may have to specifically check out. Because as long as I don't have to try to shoot and be stealthy, I'm okay with trying that out.
Yeah.
So and it looks like this bundle is supporting Make-A-Wish, which is, they always do good stuff.
Make-A-Wish and Games Aid. There's 2 supportings down there. Yeah, Humble's been around for quite a while. I first heard about them years ago. Before I even started buying from them, I had heard about them from some gamer friends. Yeah, eventually I started. I mean, they've got some good bundles out there at times, and so eventually I even bought in.
Yeah, I think you've been mentioning it to me for a while, and actually now that I have a a decently functioning PC, I'll maybe get into a couple more of the PC games and see where that takes me. I know one of them that I'd like to buy at some point is, I was looking through, and I don't know why it fascinates me, but it does, is, it'll come to me. It just went right out of my freaking head.
Words.
The Kerbal Space Program. I don't know why. It looks cutesy. It's very sciencey. You're basically, it's kind of exactly what it says. You're on this Earth clone planet with these little guys called Kerbals, and you're building your own version of NASA, really. I mean, in from designing to the space shuttle and designing the rockets and deciding how much fuel to load and how to burn, and there's a little moon. Once you get in orbit, you can land on the moon, and I mean it's pretty intense for what it is. So I don't know why it fascinates me. So that's one that I definitely want to pick up at some point.
Yeah, that's one of the ones I don't actually have yet, and I think that's just because I tend to steer clear of games that are still in beta, but that's one that's been around for a while and I know is immensely popular.
Yeah, and I think it's like $30 too, so it's not expensive, or it's not cheap, but I think if you get it, it gives you all the the content that comes out after, but I could be mistaken on that.
Yeah, usually they're I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh yeah, usually when you buy into these early access games, you get full access to the later final build of the game. That's like usually one of the things they give you. So you don't have to worry about buying it now, and then when it does hit version 1, you don't have to rebuy it. If you own it now, you own it for life.
Yeah, and it looks like there's a lot of high replayability in it too, so there's different scenarios, which is, for me, I always enjoy high replayability games. So I think that's why I like RPGs quite a bit, because it seems like, a lot of them you can either, the newer ones anyhow that are open world, there's a lot of replayability in them, like the Fallout 3s and things like that.
As long as they don't make you stealth it.
Yeah, I can do stealth in, like, small bursts. Like, I'm okay with stealth in Skyrim. I can do little bits of stealth.
Well, every little bit counts.
Exactly.
All right. You want to wrap this up?
Yep, I think it's definitely time.
It's time once again to say goodnight to my friend. And that's all you're getting.
And on that note, I'm Chuck.
And I'm Sean.
And this has been The View from the Pondcast. We'll talk to you next time.
Later, guys. Later, guys. Later, guys. Later, guys. Later, guys.